What's up, team? You guys, this is going to be a lot, but you're going to love this. So stick with me. If you're new, stick with me. Hit that like button. All the charts are going to be linked below. So let me explain how we're going to do this, what you're going to learn, how you can use this. Let's look at this first chart. So here's the master overlay. It's going to be basically, this is a chord progression with triads. Then we're going to separate this out. We're going to go through that. I'm going to show you how to use that. Then we're going to go to a master chart with 3 scales, and then I'm going to separate out the scales to make it really easy. Again, these are all linked below. So let me explain. On this chart, you see 3 bar chords, which essentially are going to be G, D, and A. And in this case, we're going to think a 4-1-5 chord progression. We'll get to that in a minute. Now, on the top left of the chart, super important. You see how it says G triad, G, B, D. It says D triad, D, F sharp, A, and A triad. Right there, A, C sharp, E, inside of the bar chords. All right, so I'm going to explain why. You see how I have the F sharp in blue and the C sharp in blue? That's really important. It's going to tie into this whole lesson. So by the end of this, for this part of the lesson, I want you to get the bar chord to the triad, bar chord to the triad, bar chord to the triad. So for example, let's just go to the first chart. Let's just start with G. Okay, so let's kind of simplify it on your eyes, make it easy. So the G, green G, and then inside that in blue, you have G, B, D, the triad. Now you guys see, I do this all the time. G to triad. So just see if you can get this, okay? If you can just take away today, if you're a total beginner and you just learned that there's a G, B, D triad, 1, 3, 5, inside of the bar chord, then you're ahead of a lot of people, okay? So there's that first chart, okay? So let's go to the next chart. We don't have to spend too much time on this, okay? So D, we're gonna think of this as the 1 chord. So we're thinking we're in the key of D major. And again, we'll get to that. So D, F sharp, A. So bar chord to triad, bar chord to triad. And if you can't get the muting part, it's okay. You see how my thumb wraps over, my elbow comes up. Okay, let's go to the next chart. Let's just keep this moving on. Here is the A. So we're gonna think of that as the 5 chord. So we're thinking the key of D major, A would be the 5 chord, okay? So that's why I got the Roman numeral there. So that's where if you start talking like Nashville numbering system, you're gonna further connect the dots. There's so much to guitar and the language of music, it's so deep. So I'm just trying to pull it apart and we're gonna put it back together slowly over time, okay? Lots of lessons on here, lots more to come. So in this case, A, C sharp, E. Okay, so here's what we can do real fast, no charts. What I want you to try and do is get the charts, look at them, but I want you to go bar chord to triad, bar chord to triad, bar chord to triad, bar chord to triad. So essentially, think of it as 1 measure on G, 1 measure on D, and 2 measures on A major, okay? So all major chords. So get that little groove going. Let me show you one more thing before we go to the next master chart and then the fun really starts. So think of this as like the harmonic component of this lesson. Harmony, right? We're playing chords. 3 or more notes played at the same time. A triad is a stripped down version of the bar chord. So another little thing you can do is you can arpeggiate the triad. So listen, anything I tell you in here to do, I'm just giving you a framework. You don't have to do it the way I'm doing it. I'm just trying to give you a place to start from and figure this stuff out. So what if we did triad, triad, triad. Okay? What if we did the G is a bar chord, the D is a triad, and the A is a triad? Sound like this. What did I do different there? Okay, well, I arpeggiated some parts of it, and then I strummed parts of it. So broke it down into like intervals by arpeggiating, and then harmonically played chords. So bar chord, you could arpeggiate the bar chords and then hit the triads like this. Just bar chords, okay? And we'll go to the triads next. Get that drummer going. Okay, so now you've got like the harmonic foundation to where we're gonna get into next. And hopefully I don't blow this. So I kind of shot high here. So let's move on to the next master chart. Drop any comments, any questions you have. Definitely hit the thumbs up, like button if this is making sense. I love making these charts. Hopefully I didn't go cross-eyed, so you guys can cross-check me. All right, here comes the real fun. All right, a lot of information on here. We have 3 scales, and we have a bunch of dots in different colors. We're gonna separate that out in just a minute, but let me kind of tell you what's going on real quick. This is the lay of the land on the chart. But if you're confused, again, drop a question, we'll all help you. So on the far right, let's look at the D major scale first. So it's right here, okay? And again, I'm gonna separate all these out to isolate them, and all these charts are linked below. So D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, C sharp, D. Now you notice F sharp and C sharp are in the key of D major. That is super important, that's why they're blue. And we'll get to that in just a minute. Now if you look at the middle, we have A major and A Mixolydian, all right? And then we have on the far left G major to G Lydian. What I want you to learn, or what I want you to try and connect the dots on, let me see if I can explain this. When we're improvising over this chord progression of G, D, A, right? We need to make sure that our notes fit, all right? So what we need to do is we need to be making sure that we have an F sharp and C sharp in our scales when we play them. So essentially what we're gonna do is we're gonna take an A major scale and we're gonna convert it to an A Mixolydian scale. So you see how I highlighted G sharp in A major on the chart, and then right below it, we changed it to G, okay? So we need a G in the A major scale, okay? Because there's a G in D major. We're trying to make everything match up. So Mixolydian is the 5th mode of D major. And I know this is a lot, so just stick with me. And again, you're gonna have, the light bulb's gonna click on sooner or later. So if there's anything you can learn here, I put a little tiny note, flat the 7th degree to convert major to Mixolydian. So when we play the A major scale, we flat the 7th and we convert it to Mixolydian. Okay, so now it's A Mixolydian and that fits with D major. So let's look at the left side of this chart, G major to G Lydian. It's a different move. So to change G major to G Lydian, we gotta sharp the 4th degree. We gotta raise it a half step. So that's why C sharp is in blue. All right, now, this is gonna be too confusing if we try and break it down like this. Let's isolate it. So let's start with G. So look at the G right here. Here's this chart. Again, grab this. So if we look at G from G major we would play like this. Now we said we need to convert that to Lydian to make it fit into the key of D major, all right? So we go 1, 2, 3, we raise the 4th, so that's why that is now a C sharp, and that's in blue. Da, 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 da. So that's the G Lydian scale. You're just moving one note. Da, 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 da. You can actually kind of hear it, kind of raises it. It's almost like a mysterious quality. You can describe how you hear it. Da, 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 da. Do something where if you want to just kind of do a little isolated exercise, play a G bar chord and then run the little G Lydian scale. Just gives a certain quality, right? Remember I told you guys, and I tell you this always, and I'll always tell you this, I told you in the past, I can't speak right now. This is a lot of information swirling in my head. But these are all just different flavors, right? So don't get confused by the modes. So all we basically did is we converted a G major scale into G Lydian so that it will fit within the key of D major, right? Okay, so you see that? So just practice this scale. You could play a regular G major scale and then right after that play G Lydian. Regular G major, da, 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 and then G Lydian, da, 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 da. Stop on that note that you change within the major scale. 1, 2, 3, raise the 4th, finish the scale. Okay, again, this is a lot, but just study the chart, look at the information. Again, maybe you latch on to this part of the lesson. I'm giving you a lot. It's up to you to figure out how to put it into your system, into your catalog. So what if you just learned today? I bet you a ton of you, and drop in the comments, had no clue that you could take a standard major scale, and if you raise the 4th note in that scale, now you're playing Lydian, the Lydian version, okay? All right, so saying a lot here. I told you this is going to be long. Let's move on to the next chart, which is A major to A Mixolydian. So I do have it as A Mixolydian on the chart, but let's just play the A major scale. Now, how do we convert A major to a Mixolydian, and well, it's right there on the chart for you. It says right there in blue, flat the 7th degree to convert major to Mixolydians. So, okay, I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and this would be the 7th note. I gotta flat that, which means drop it a half step. So there it is. It's such a subtle difference, but it's a different angle. It shifts the tonal center a little bit. So watch. Regular major, A Mixolydian now. See that? So you went from A major to A Mixolydian. Now again, at the end of the A major scale, it's a G sharp, that's blue. But we need it to be a G so that it fits into the key of D major. Remember, A Mixolydian, since it's the fifth the fifth mode of D major, it has to have all the same notes. So look at it right now. If you look, A Mixolydian has A, B, C sharp, D, E, F sharp, G. And then I'm just going to tell you, because it's not on this chart, but it's on the master chart. D major has D, E, F sharp, G, A, B, so that's C sharp. So there's a C sharp in A Mixolydian and an F sharp in A Mixolydian. And there's an F sharp and a C sharp in D major. See what I'm saying? You just got to make sure everything matches up. Now, we haven't even gotten to the musical part of how to use it. Okay, so what could we do between these 3 scales that would be something musical, okay? So why don't we just kind of run the chords, maybe the triads, and we'll do some improvising between the 3 scales. The 2 modes, G Lydian, A Mixolydian, and D major. Now let me tell you this, that is super neatly packaged up for you because I did all 3 of the scales and I kept it confined to the E, A, D string. I was so tempted to go all the way from low E to high E, but I thought that's just too much. So what if you just get this today? G Lydian, A Mixolydian, oops, sorry, shake, D major. Okay, now you could create a riff right out of those modes and that major scale. What do I mean? Well, watch this. Let me do it. I'm going to just focus on those top 3 strings. I'll create it like a little funky riff, and I will do something that's played out of those scales. Now, you notice there too, because I started the riff in the A Mixolydian scale, you know, the tonal center is gonna be D because that is the 1 chord, but it just depends where you start from. So you gotta just get some ear training out of this too. And I know I'm jumping all over the place, so please bear with me because I really threw a lot out here. But again, I'm just trying to break it down for you into small chunks. So I don't care if you want to just focus on the bar chord to the triads, bar chord to the triad, or if you want to just practice the scale parts. Okay, now let's see if we can do something with the bar chords, the triads, and throwing all little pieces of the scales in there, okay? Now you don't have to use all the notes in Lydian, Mixolydian, and the major scale. You could just use pieces of it. I'm trying to get you to connect the dots across the neck in meaningful ways. A lot of people haven't even touched modes because they're terrified of them, just the way they sound. So let's see if we can do a harmonic chord progression with the triads and then go into a little scalular thing. Does that work? Okay. Okay. Everything I did there, I was just kind of improvising, but the reason I was able to do it was because I was shown, or I figured out that this was here. So I'm just trying to show you all the things that aren't shown to me, all right? So just see what you can do. So to kind of wrap this up, this is a lot. Definitely grab the charts. If you're new, would love to keep you. If you've been around, love you like always. Team Jellyfish for the win. Grab these charts, but just try and run the scale. Just go G Lydian, go A Mixolydian, and then D major, and then maybe come up with your own chord progression. I don't know. Maybe you could do start on the 1, go D, do 1 4 5. You'll have all these light bulb moments, how it connects. Man, I said a lot. That was a hard lesson to teach you guys, so let me know how I did. I'll get better and better, but I think having these charts is key. So no matter what you did or did not understand, grab the charts and break it down. So if you're a beginner, if you could just get 1 bar chord to the triad like this, just the G, okay? And maybe you could only do a little tiny lick out of G Lydian, fine. I did that little lick out of G major. Man, it always wants to pull you back to that tonal center. Wow, that was a fun lesson. So hopefully you guys hung in there. Man, I can see some beginners out there right now. I already know in the comments they're gonna be like, I didn't understand a lick of what you said. So if that is you, just do 1 bar chord with the triad, okay? That's it. The charts are there. I love making these for you. You guys hit the like button, hit subscribe. I've already said that enough. Check out the links. Check out these videos I'm gonna sprinkle around. Drop jellyfish or your favorite sea creature in the comments. Tell us where you're watching from. Community's growing crazy fast. I love this stuff. I love trying to figure this out because I'm like you. I am trying to learn this stuff as much as you are. As soon as you think you know it all, you know nothing, right? And the worst guitar player in the world is the guy who thinks he knows everything because he doesn't, and he never will. I don't care who you are. We all are going to pick our lane, but let's just keep growing. Let's keep getting better together, all right? Whew, I think that was so much I can't even think right now. Oh yeah, one last thing. I got a podcast coming out. I'm going to do it every other week. It's going to be pretty fun. I figured out how I'm going to do it. It's going to drop it here and then put it out on all the other platforms. But it's just a way to take stuff deeper. But what do you guys want to see? Keep those comments coming. And I will see you in the next video. Wow. Keep playing. Keep going. Only you can stop you. Don't stop. Peace.